Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Ledwell and this is The Inspiration Show. Today in the show I have a very good friend of mine that's joining me while I'm here in Sydney, who's also in Sydney. We're going to be talking about his business and an amazing event that we're going to be both speaking at in May of this year on the Gold Coast in Australia. But before I introduce my special guest, I just want to remind you that once the show is over, don't forget to click the link below this video so you can download the free ebook version of my best-selling book, Never in Your Wildest Dreams. Now, let me introduce my special guest and good friend, Tom Cronin. How are you, Tom?
I'm great. Good to be here. Thanks, Natalie.
Yeah. Now, Tom is from the Stillness Project. So, Diane, can you just give us a little bit of a background about how you fell into that, and what the Stillness Project is?
Yeah, so I'll try and keep it short because it's a bit of a long story that goes back 26 years. But I started out as a broker in finance, of all places, and got really swept up into that whole industry. It was fast and furious, and there was lots of drinking, drugs, and working extremely hard with a lot of adrenaline. So combined all of that was like a bonfire. And before long, my nervous system really sort of started to capitulate with the effects of that type of lifestyle. And after about 9-10 years in that job, I ended up having, I guess, kind of like a nervous breakdown. I had extreme panic attacks, depression, anxiety, insomnia, agoraphobia, had to leave my job, couldn't leave the house, was put on pharmaceutical drugs, seeing psychiatrists. And it became like a pivotal turning point in my life where I had to choose between two different paths of going down that Western medicine method or looking for an alternative. And that's when I discovered meditation. And it was just phenomenal what happened. And surprisingly, I went back into my job, the same job with the same client, same company for 16 more years, which blows people away that after 26 years in that career, in finance on a trading room floor is quite phenomenal, really. But I recently left that, and what inspired me while I was a broker was just the impact of meditation. It was just phenomenal. It allowed me to sustain that long-term career and be really one of the more successful brokers in the industry. And so I decided that I wanted to bring this to the world in a big way. So that's when I started the Stillness Project while I was still a broker and was working part-time teaching meditation and running retreats. And then eventually it just became almost like a choiceless option for me to leave finance and really fulfill my dharma, my life purpose. And that was where the Stillness Project was born, and what I've been doing for 5-6 years now, which is bringing meditation, inspiring people to learn to meditate and bringing meditation to the world as much as possible.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I know that, you have reached like hundreds of thousands of people so far, but that's about to explode with this latest project and a movie project that you're working on. So let's expand a little bit on what that's looking like.
Yeah, typical me, I can't do things by halves. I guess it's my nature. If I'm going to just self-destruct, drugs and alcohol, I may as well do that in the full-blown way. So then when it comes to sharing meditation with the world, I decided to do that in a big way as well. And we decided that a really great way to share this message with the world is with a film that was shown in cinemas around the world. And so that started about 6 years ago. And that project's called The Portal. And The Portal really is a look at what's on the other side of thinking and feeling and physical forms, which is that deep stillness that we get in a meditation experience, or samadhi as the Buddhists call it. But it's also what's on the other side of our lives and humanity as a collective if we're all able to shift our state of mind. And, the film represents that we're at a tipping point, sort of fork in the road for humanity, that we can go down one path, which is looking fairly treacherous and possibly even unstable and unsustainable for a human species. And that's a high probability that we're at a point now with our actions and our desires and our greed and our lack of consciousness in the way we live our lives could actually be self-terminating, which is an interesting proposition. And you'll be able to find a lot of information that supports that argument. But then on the alternative side to that is we also have an incredible state of mind that we can move into, an open heart and a really high level of intelligence that has the solution to our problems, that sees us move into what ancient Vedic scholars would call Satyuga, which is an age of enlightenment, where we live harmoniously, not just amongst ourselves, but with nature. And so this film was all about bringing this idea to the world. And we show that through 6 personal stories that all had a crisis moment, like I had a crisis moment. And my life changed dramatically as our 6 stories did, and as us as a human collective species could as well, if we change our state of mind through meditation. So it's kind of like the crux of the film and the book that's coming out, is that it's looking at 6 personal stories that all transform through meditation and move their way out of a crisis period. And we have 3 experts that share these sort of global macro pictures from their own philosophical viewpoint, which is, it gives it a lot more depth to the story.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to see the finished product, because I know that you've been working on this for some time, and I think it's a message that time has come. Now it's a time where we, there's the catalyst of what's happening, politically, that's happening on the world stage, that's helping a lot of people kind of wake up out of apathy and indifference and go, okay, hold on a minute. Like, if I want to, feel more homeowners, they're feeling like they're out of control. This is a way for them to be able to understand how to get in more coherence, with the environment around them and the people around them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We present that crisis isn't something that you're a victim of. It's not something that we want to stay in for long periods of time. It's actually a cue for change, and it's a function of evolution. And it's like the little Johnny getting smacked because he's putting a knife in the power socket. It's actually part of what needs to happen for his evolution and his growth. Yeah.
So let's talk about this event that we're going to be both at together. So this is going to be May 3rd to 5th this year on the Gold Coast in Australia. And it's the Mind Heart Connect event, which, and their tagline is creating resilient lives. So I'm excited because, there's you and myself, but then there's also good friends of ours like Dr. Laurie Layden. We've got Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Peter Stapleton, who's doing some incredible work in getting EFT into schools and tapping and really getting, I think she actually just got a grant, or the first, government grant, to actually look at the effects and how this is actually helping a lot of people. So it's an amazing event that I'm grateful that we're both speaking at. But what are the kind of things that you're going to be covering while you're at the event?
Yeah, I guess I'll work with my own specialty, which is, stress management and meditation. So I'm running a workshop all day on the Friday, which is a deep exploration into meditation techniques. They'll be well and truly equipped with the art of meditation, the long-term benefits of meditation, how to meditate, and everything that they need to know around incorporating meditation into their lives. And what's beyond, if you do sustain a longer-term meditation practice, for you to open up and access your greater capacities as a human being. So that's, I guess, the core focus of what I'll be working on, which I can't wait, as well as seeing some of the other amazing people there as well.
Right. I know. I'm really looking forward to doing that day with you, because that's the thing. We have meditation practices, but there's different ways that we can do it. And like I said, you've changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. And so, it's not often that, for speaking for me personally, that people actually get to connect with me personally at events. Yes, I'm with the Dr. Joe things, but to actually, and I'm actually doing a couple of workshops on the Sunday, where I will personally help you make your own mind movie. And what that means is not just, physically having it done, so that you walk out of there with it downloaded on your phone or your iPad, and you get to carry it around with you. But I'll help you get crystallized clear about what it is that you want and how to powerfully articulate that in affirmations and through photos and the right music. So it's not often that you get to be with me personally and have me help you create your mind movie as well, which is, pretty awesome too. So
yeah, I can't wait to be doing that with you. It's going to be fantastic. I think I need that.
Because that's the thing. I mean, like for a lot of us, it's like, well, what do we want? And I know that with this event, when you walk away from it, it's not like it's like one of these, motivational things where you go in and you're motivated for the weekend and you get back to Monday and you go back into your old routine. What you're learning at this event are specific tools and techniques and skills that you take away with you, like the meditation that you'll be learning with Tom. I know that, Dr. Laurie Layden and Dr. Peter Stapleton were teaching tapping. It's one of the most effective tools when you're looking at, getting rid of trauma and releasing limiting beliefs. Moving through all of that, and even we have a lot of people that are tapping when they're watching their mind movies. So, and a lot of the skills that you'll learn from this particular event are complementary to each other, which is why I think the Kate Helder and Dr. Peter have done a great job of assembling. You know, Dr. Carol Looker is going to be there. There's like it's a great team of people that'll be there. But you walk away a different person. You know, you get to see how you can use your mind to really create a better life for yourself, and to see things differently and to be able to, you know, handle life differently. Like, what are some of the amazing benefits that you see from people that are practicing meditation on a regular basis?
Yeah, it's just phenomenal, you know, and again, just reiterating what you're saying, to give people the tools. You know, I see so many seminars where people walk away with this fist pumping hype, but they're not really having things on a daily basis to integrate into their daily life. And there's a lot of slippage that happens. So, you know, having a number of tools, and, you know, you and I both been using tools for our own successes. And it really is such an important part of a day. If you look at anyone that's successful, and I love Tim Ferriss's book, Tools of the Titans. So with meditation, you know, I constantly see people just having better brain functionality, because when you're stressed, your brain actually contracts, and you're using a very minuscule part of the brain when you're in fight flight, which is very primal reptilian part of the brain. This whole creative, frontal, intuitive, and cognitive part of the brain just really starts to contract and shrink as far as its usage. So we see people becoming a lot more creative, a lot more dynamic, a lot more bigger with their visions, and a lot more fearless about their possibilities in their life. And it comes from a deep state of stability and calmness. That's the other thing that happens. It's not from like a feverish, sort of hyper-stimulated anxiety sort of state where they've got to get things done or else they're going to be miserable. It's like, I already feel quite calm and happy just within my own right. And I quite often get emails from people going, I don't know why, but I actually feel happy today. Because normally we have a why with our happiness. I feel happy because of this. And if this didn't work, then I don't feel happy. Whereas what we see with a lot of meditators is just feeling a deep sense of contentment and happiness and calmness by simply being. And then from there, that's the foundation that they build their actions on. And it completely changes the dynamic of why you go into action, not because I want to get fulfilled or get happy. It's as an expression of the happiness that I already have. And it's a very different way of, I guess, the way I say it is putting the horse before the cart.
Absolutely. And, you know, operating from that state gives you choices. You know, you get to choose how you want to respond, you know, where you want to go, what decision you want to make, rather than just reacting emotionally or you know, like knee-jerk reactions all the time that may not be the right decision in that moment. When you're operating from this place of calmness, it's like you get to see more options and you get to make a choice, you know, which can completely change the trajectory of your life.
Yeah. And we tend to live in a very confined space in our lives based upon the confined space in our head. And, you know, even for me, you know, leaving finance and running a global meditation movement and a feature film, you know, this was impulses of ideas, these creative impulses that come through, sometimes even in meditation. You know, a lot of meditations, and you'll learn this on the workshop, is that it's not like you're going to have this empty mind the whole time. Sometimes you get incredible epiphanies. I'm sure you too, Natalie, these amazing creative impulses about which way to go with your life. And there's almost an infinite capacity and infinite possibility there. So I would have never have thought that I was bringing a cinematic feature film to the world. And here I am, you know, with that little impulse that came through in a meditation, and slowly just seeing that manifest. And now we're on the cusp of about to release that. So yeah, it's quite exciting.
Yeah. No, it's amazing what can happen when you quiet your mind long enough to have that connection with the divine and stay quiet long enough for the inspiration to come through.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, right. So Tom, where can we send people if they want to connect with you and find out more about the Stillness Project? Where can we send them to do that?
Yeah, I mean, they can easily just head over to stillnessproject.com. So it's without the, so just stillnessproject.com. And if they want to keep up to date with the film release, they can go to theportalmovie.com. It's a temporary website. We're just building out our website now, but at least you'll be able to leave your email there, and we'll be able to stay in touch with you and let you know about any of the developments that are happening with the film and keep you up to date with everything.
That's awesome. Now, we're also going to have a banner or a link here as well so that you can go through and find out more about the Mind Heart Connect event, which is May 3rd to 5th on the Gold Coast in Australia. We would love for you to come and join us in person so that we can have that connection. It's just, you know, you're in an environment or an event where everyone is like-minded. You're having high-level conversations. and you're getting to connect with people like Tom and myself and Dr. Joe and, you know, all these guys. So please come and join us. So click on the link or the banner here so that you can find out more about that event as well. So thanks again, Tom, for joining me. It's great chatting to you today.
Pleasure. Great chatting. And I hope to see you come up and say hello if you're at Gold Coast Mind Heart Connect. I'd love to meet you there.
Yeah, love to meet you. So guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Please share this video. Let's get the word out. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. You know, go through to stillnessproject.com or click on the link to find out more about the Mind Heart Connect event. And so until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.
See you now.